Explorer and geographer Amerigo Vespucci described an encounter he had with Arawak from the Caribbean island of Curacao in 1497. A number of Arawak came swimming over the sea and approached us, joining others who had arrived in canoes. Then some old women appeared at the doors of the huts, uttering great cries and tearing out their hair in sign of grief. This made us suspect something, and each man seized his weapon. Suddenly, some Arawak in canoes came nearer and began to shoot with their bows and arrows. The Arawak who were swimming had each brought a lance, concealed under the water as much as possible. As soon as we understood the treachery, we not only defended ourselves from them, but also attacked them vigorously and sank many of their canoes with our ships. Thus, we routed and slaughtered them, and all took to swimming, abandoning their canoes. Having suffered enough damage, they swam back to the shore. Nearly 15 or 20 of them were killed, and many were wounded. 5 years earlier, on the morning of October 11th, 1492 of the Christian calendar, the sun hovered low over the turquoise waters of the Caribbean, casting its warm golden light upon a virgin world, untouched by the upheavals that would soon come. On the island of Ayiti, known today as Hispaniola, nestled amidst lush greenery and boundless seas, the Taino people prepared for a day like any other, unaware that their lives teetered on the edge of an irreversible encounter. A few miles away on another island, tensions simmered in the Arawak settlement. Once part of a larger confederation, divisions between the Taino and Arawak had deepened over the years. Disputes over fertile fishing grounds and prime agricultural lands often led to skirmishes. Yet for all their differences, the two peoples shared a common heritage, their languages and customs bearing striking similarities. The Arawak warriors prepared for a raid that morning, sharpening their weapons and adorning themselves with vibrant feathers and beads. Their chieftain, who would soon meet Columbus, was a formidable leader known for his cunning and charisma. Unlike the Taino, who preferred diplomacy and trade, the Arawak had grown more aggressive, their culture hardened by years of conflict with rival tribes. The Arawak painted their bodies with fierce designs meant to intimidate their enemies, the symbols reflecting the spirits they invoked for protection. Arawak warriors were already launching their canoes, their paddles slicing through the water with practiced efficiency. They were strong swimmers, capable of covering great distances in the open sea, their endurance legendary. The Spanish later marveled at the spectacle of these swimmers gliding through the sea, sometimes 2 leagues from shore. Many wore talismans carved from bone or wood, believed to grant them strength and protection. The Arawak's canoes, some up to 130 feet long and made from a single dugout tree trunk, cut through the waves like arrows, their warriors chanting a rhythmic song meant to bolster their spirits and strike fear into their foes. The Taino and Arawak, with their well-proportioned physiques honed by a life intertwined with nature, moved with a grace that seemed otherworldly. Their jewelry, made of polished shells, stones and gold, caught the sun's rays, enhancing their already striking appearance. Body piercings adorned their noses and ears, a testament to their artistry and connection to the divine. The Taino village hummed with activity. Women, their bodies adorned with intricate swirls of black and red paint, moved gracefully through the communal space. Their beauty was a source of pride. Their hair, long and flowing, caught the light like streams of dark water. The body paint, derived from natural dyes, highlighted their features and served both aesthetic and spiritual purposes. Nudity among the Taino was unburdened by shame, their connection to nature making such modesty unnecessary. Their innocence was to captivate the foreigner's gaze, as these islanders wore their beauty and culture with a pride unmarred by the complex rules of distant civilizations. Their laughter echoed over the waves, an unguarded expression of joy, while their curiosity about the vast world beyond their shores hinted at a yearning as vast as the sea itself. Columbus would later write in his journal, "They go as naked as when their mothers bore them. They are very well made, with very handsome bodies and very good countenances. Their hair is short and coarse, almost like the hairs of a horse's tail. They wear the hairs brought down to the eyebrows, except a few locks behind, which they wear long and never cut. Some paint themselves white, others red, and others of whatever color they find. Some paint their faces, others the whole body, some only round the eyes, others only the nose. It is true that the women wear a very small cloth, and they are of very good appearance, not very dark." There were among them 4 or 5 young women who were not displeasing to the eye, among whom was one with her thigh from the knee to the hip and waist, all painted with black paint, and all the rest in her natural colour. Another had both knees and calves and ankles so painted, and her body so nude and exposed with such innocence that there was not any shame. Columbus concluded. A few years later, Amerigo Vespucci would write that the women are extraordinarily lusty. They showed an excessive desire for our company. They are very shapely and cleanly made, and their hair is long and black. The women are very libidinous, yet their bodies are attractive, but they are as wild as can be imagined. They have no hair whatever on their bodies, but they have very long black hair, especially the women, which beautifies them. They are not very jealous, but lascivious beyond measure, the women much more so than the men. They are gifted with very handsome and well-proportioned bodies, and no part is to be seen that is not well-formed. Although they go naked, they conceal with their thighs everything except that part for which nature did not provide. Yet here no one cares, for the same impression is made on them at seeing anything indecent as is made on us at seeing a nose or mouth. They have large, strongly built bodies, and are well-proportioned. Their hair is plentiful and black. They are of a free and good-looking expression of countenance, which they themselves destroy by boring the nostrils and lips, the nose and ears. Nor must you believe that the borings are small, nor that they only have one, for I have seen those who had no less than 7 borings in the face, each one the size of a European plum. They fill these perforations with blue stones, bits of marble, of crystal, or very fine alabaster, also with very white bones and other things artificially prepared, according to their customs, which, if you could see, it would appear a strange and monstrous thing. One man had in the nostrils and lips alone 7 stones, of which some were half a palm in length. It will astonish you to hear that I considered that the weight of 7 such stones was as much as 16 ounces. In each ear they had 3 perforations bored, whence they had other stones and rings suspended. This custom is only for the men, as the women do not perforate their faces, but only their ears, concluded the awe-struck Vespucci. Meanwhile the Taino gathered by the sea, preparing their canoes for the day's fishing. These vessels, hewn from massive ceiba trees, were both sturdy and elegant, gliding across the water with ease. Some waded into the shallows, their muscles rippling as they cast nets with precision. Others prepared for longer journeys, their spears and hooks crafted with meticulous care. Their fishing was as much an art as a survival skill, with knowledge passed down through many generations. The Taino diet was rich and varied, a testament to their intimate relationship with the land and sea. The day's catch might include parrotfish, red snapper, or the prize dorado, their scales flashing iridescent blues and greens as they were brought ashore. Seafood was complemented by cassava bread, made from the starchy roots of the yucca plant, and dishes seasoned with aji, a spicy pepper that added fire to their meals. Fields of maize, squash and beans surrounded the village, while groves of guava and papaya trees offered sweet sustenance. By midday, the Arawak had reached the Taino village. They disembarked with swift precision, their presence a mixture of power and pageantry. The Taino met them on the beach, their own warriors standing tall, spears at the ready. For a moment, the tension hung thick in the air, the warriors on both sides gripping their weapons tightly. The leaders gathered under a massive ceiba tree, its roots sprawling like the veins of the earth. The discussions were heated, each side airing grievances and defending their actions. The Taino spoke of their respect for the land and sea, their careful stewardship ensuring abundance for all. The Arawak countered with tales of encroachment and dwindling resources, their frustrations boiling over. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, an uneasy truce was reached. Both sides agreed to share fishing grounds more equitably and to establish clearer boundaries for their fields. It was not a perfect solution, but it was a step toward coexistence. That night, the Taino held a feast to honor the fragile peace. Fires blazed along the beach as drums and flutes filled the air with music. The women danced, their movements fluid and captivating, a celebration of life and harmony. Their voices rose in song, weaving a tale of unity and resilience, her words a balm for weary hearts. They had no idea this would be the last night before the world changed forever, as Columbus's ships sailed west through the night. On that night, the Arawak and Taino shared stories of their exploits, their laughter echoing across the waves. The sea, ever generous, provided a bounty of lobster, conch, and crab, their shells glistening in the firelight. Fruits and vegetables from the fields added color and flavor to the feast, while fermented cassava drinks flowed freely. Yet amidst the revelry, the stars bore silent witness to a world on the brink of change. The next day, 3 ships would appear on the horizon, their sails billowing like ghostly apparitions. The arrival of Columbus and his men would mark the beginning of an era defined by conquest and upheaval, the lives of the Taino and Arawak forever altered. For now, though, the people of Ayiti danced beneath the moonlight, their laughter and songs a defiant declaration of their existence. They were a people of the land and sea, their spirits bound to the rhythms of nature, and on this night, they were free. The next morning, October 12, 1492, their world would change forever. Thank you for watching to the end, and please tell us what you think in the comments.